And we're going to talk about 6.5 reasons why motorcycles are better than cars or cagers or four-wheeled vehicles, whatever you want to call it. What is up, everybody? Dan the Fireman out here at the Ride Arizona MTC's range. It's a beautifully well done range. Look at the stars, looks nice. Out here at Pima Dragway, we got some bikes out here. They're doing a class. I'm over here on their lunch break, or where, I don't know where they're at. I think they're in the classroom. And I'm out practicing, but I'm gonna go home. And while I do this, I'm gonna take the long way home because you know what? Riding a motorcycle is more fun than a car. And that's half the reason. So I said 6.5, that makes it 7, all right? If you wanna get some training, come out here, Ride Arizona MTC. I'm a coach. I'm a coach and I'll train you. Link will be in the description. All right, when discussing the cost of motorcycles versus cars, we know that motorcycles cost less. You can purchase a decent new motorcycle for around 8 grand, far less than a new car. Now, 8 grand is a lot. You could buy some for way cheaper, especially in the used market. I found some for like 2 grand easily that are still good. They're still decent. Might have to put a little bit of work in them, but you know what? They're still good. And that's way less than a car. So if a car, you obviously trade off, you actually do a bunch of stuff. You know, you can have passengers easily. You know, you can have like 4 sometimes. With cars, with motorcycles, you know, at most you can have another one. So you do make some trade-offs, but guess what? They're a lot cooler. Motorcycles are a lot cooler, like I said. That's the half point. And you can buy it for a lot cheaper, so it's economical. Okay, so it's really economical because now you're taking, we're about to jump in the next one. Motorcycles get more per gallon, more miles per gallon than most cars. So like a fuel-efficient car usually says, hey, we get 30 miles per gallon. I'll go ahead and, okay, you're gonna let me go? What do you, make a decision, buddy. Make a decision. He keeps hitting the brakes, he keeps going. He hit the brakes, he's going. And that's another cool thing, and we'll talk about that, is that we're smaller. Anyways, they're fuel efficient. So like a car is like, man, we get 30 miles per gallon. You get like a Prius, you get 40 to 60, you know? With a motorcycle, it's pretty standard to get around 40. And then there's like scooters that get like 120 miles per gallon. So it's very economical. Most motorcycles get way more than 30 miles per gallon. So if you're just commuting and you're gasoline, petroleum, hydrocarbon conscious, guess what? You're going a little bit green when you get a motorcycle. A little bit more green than a car. And what I just talked about here with that vehicle, he was parked off on the side. And if I was in a car, I just inhaled a bug. If I was in a car, I wouldn't be able to make it around him, especially if another car was coming that quick. But we're quicker on the bikes. Bikes have better acceleration. That's another talk. Jeez, I keep giving out all these free points. I'm not even sticking in order. It's a lot easier to get around things. We're smaller. Parking is easier, especially. So like, especially in the city, parking where the parking spaces are like super close. Like let's say you have to parallel park and it's like, oh, I think I can fit there in my car, but nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna tell you what, you never have that issue when you have a motorcycle. You'd be like, oh, I can easily fit in there. I just back up and I take up this much room. Serious. It's really cool. So parking is a lot easier when you're on a motorcycle. Maneuvering is a lot easier within the city. It's way better than in a car. Now it's also more dangerous, so definitely get some training, get some gear, mitigate some of that stuff, because obviously a car has a lot of protection compared to a motorcycle. If you put the same amount of protection that a car has on a motorcycle, you basically just got a 2-wheel car. So you got like a seatbelt, cage, everything, airbags. So that's a different story. That's a different topic that we can talk about. It's really nice. The parking's a lot easier, and some places have motorcycle specific parking, like some restaurants, like Home Depot, Lowe's, like places, just random places like that. Now that I think about it, it's like, why would you be going to Home Depot or Lowe's with a motorcycle? It's not like you can buy like lumber. Well, I guess if you want to buy some tools, that's another cool thing. That's why it's really nice to have saddlebags. So anyways, number 4, the motorcycle community is especially tight-knit. We're especially tight-knit. This makes motorcycling both a mode of transportation and a hobby all in one. So you get to make some friends. It's pretty tight-knit, and it's like one of the perfect icebreakers. Not necessarily to like go up to chicks and be like, "What's up, bro? I got a motorcycle. You want to check it out, girl?" "Yeah, girl." No, that's not what I mean by icebreaker. I mean, like, as men, I'm gonna go on a little soapbox here. As men, it's really hard to meet other guys that you know, and not in a platonic way. It's kind of hard. It's like, you know, I can't just walk up to the guy and be like, "Hey, you want to be friends?" or "Hey, you want to hang out?" or "Hey, you want to You know, you can't do that, but if you have a motorcycle, and you both have motorcycles, you have something in common, you have something to talk about. And since it's something that you truly love, they might truly love it too. And so you can talk about it like, man, I like your bike, what year is it? Boom, icebreaker right there, perfect. And that's one of the cool things about the Discord that I have. There's 800 members in there, and motorcycling is the thing that we all have in common. The love of motorcycling, either you're on it or you want to be on it, or you're not on it anymore. The Discord is a big giant chat room. Please join, check it out. We have a lounge where we can all hang out. We have a new rider questions, motorcycle help question area, and a mental health section for those that, you know what, you can't talk about it in person, or you don't feel like talking about it in person, but it's easy to do it online with a fake name, and you can just, you know, vent, and you can talk and help each other out. Performance-wise, motorcycles versus cars, do I even have to discuss this? I can go 0 to the speed limit before I hit the other side of the intersection. You notice how I didn't say 0 to 60? I said 0 to the speed limit by the time I hit the intersection. The other side anyways. I do that personally because I don't want to get hit, I don't want to get T-boned, and I want to get away from other vehicles. I want a bigger space cushion. It's kind of why I'm off to the side. I have an escape route right here. I swear there's like a bug flying in here. We have better acceleration, we have better performance when it comes to riding. I mean, we're on a very powerful machine, and it's just between our legs, and we have 2 wheels of contact, so less friction than 4 wheels. I mean, we're just like, we're power. And that's the thing, is that sometimes, you know, if you ride aggressively, defensively, safety conscious, right here, see, look, I'm not going to stop on this cattle guard. If you ride safety conscious, you can get out of most accidents. You can get out of the way of most accidents. So let's say, you know, if somebody right here behind me, this big old SUV, or not SUV, RV, wants to, you know, not hit the brakes and stuff, I can actually accelerate really quick out of the way. And since I'm such a smaller profile, like I talked about with the parking, is that I can get out of the way off on the shoulder, and he'll T-bone this truck, and I won't feel as bad, because honestly, this truck has a huge bed. This truck is a 4-door, and it looks like there's only one person as the driver. So look how much they have, like a ton of room for crash protection. I have a rear tire in my back. So performance-wise, we can actually get out of the way, and it's a lot more fun, to be honest, on something that is just like blasting through traffic within speed limits. Riding a motorcycle actually burns calories. It does. It takes energy to maintain balance and move through the turns. So, guys, we're actually getting shredded. We're getting jacked and tan riding motorcycles. Now, it all depends if you, as soon as you get off the bike, you start drinking heavily and start eating some crappy food. Yeah, there's a difference, and it's not a substitute for working out, but man, don't you feel like exhausted after a ride? I know I do, especially in the heat. I feel exhausted, and then the next day, I do feel, if after a good day of riding, especially practice, like my hands and forearms kind of sore, my back's a little sore, but it's not like a skeletal sore, it's the muscle, you know, the erector spinae that goes up all the way up your back. And then my hips, my hamstrings, my quads, my calves, it's just like it's a full body workout, especially if you're actually doing stuff. Let's go over that grate. There we go. So I mean, you get to burn some calories, get some jack and tan, bruh. And here's the thing. This is the 6.5. This is the number 6.5, I think. Motorcycle riders report that their cruising hours are thrilling. You don't get that in a car. I mean, you can, especially if you drive like a sports car, but here's the thing, it's like you get something extra when you have the wind just constantly hitting you, and it's not like a convertible. You get a little bit on the top of your toupee, but you get the wind hitting you from all directions. You have the sense of danger, and I shouldn't even use quotes. There is a sense of danger while riding. You get a sense of danger, so that increases your endorphin levels. It makes you focus and pay attention to driving and riding, and I talk about that in a mental health video, motorcycles and depression, and why it does help out when it comes to depression, anxieties and stuff, is because you are, for the most part, supposed to be focused on the road. So with anxieties and depressions and stuffs like that, hey, what's up, buddy? See, tight-knit group. With all of the mental health issues, we are constantly, and I say we because I'm part of it, I have depression, anxiety, is that we are constantly thinking of random shit that we should not have to worry about. But when we're on the bike, the one thing that we are worrying about is the bike ride. The riding here, what we're doing right now is what we're worried about. And that is amazing. And that is why it's a little bit more thrilling. And that is why I believe that motorcycling does help. And it honestly has saved my life in terms of a lot of different factors. That's another video. But yes, number 6.5 plus the other half, with the other half is fun. This complements that. It's more thrilling, it's more relaxing, it's more engaging. And that right there gives you a purpose while you're riding. That right there gives you a thrill. That right there with the adrenaline, endorphins, the focal acuity, the hyper thing of jobs, medical terms, that all helps out. That all makes it to where it's worth riding, it's worth being safe, it's worth, you know, continuing on this hobby so that you could do it years and years and years and years and years later, so you can have that thrill and you can have that relaxation. And it's super important to me, and that's why I feel it should be super important to you, especially if you're riding, to wear full gear so you can continue to do it year after year, season after season, whatever it is for you. I could ride year round. I know some of you guys can only ride during seasons, but it's very important to do it year after year because you have the proper gear. If you take a spill one year and you crack your noggin because you weren't wearing a seatbelt, or not seatbelt, you weren't wearing a helmet, and you die, or you have traumatic brain injury, or you have issues to where you can't get it back on a bike for years or maybe even decades or ever, you just ruin that thrill for yourself. You ruin that, you know, throttle therapy. Wear a helmet, and it could possibly just crack the helmet, not your skull, and now you can continue riding for the rest of your year or life. So that is my little soapbox. Once again, I keep jumping on soapboxes when it comes to that kind of stuff. But I'm on my way home. I'm gonna go ahead and relax. I burned so many calories, I don't have to work out today. And I'm gonna go ahead and start editing some of these videos. But I can't wait to see you guys on the DDFM show later today. Guys, DDFM show 5 days a week. It's gonna be a blast. Blast! All right, I'll see you then. I got a booger.